Hello, and welcome to this episode of Moments in Credit Union History. My name is Stephanie Smith, and I am the Executive Director of America's Credit Union Museum in Manchester, New Hampshire. It is my pleasure today to welcome John Tippets to the show. Hi, John.
Good afternoon. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. John, you have a long and storied career that we're going to talk a little bit about today.
Many of those you've interviewed have much longer stories. Bless their hearts.
Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about your moments in credit union history.
Well, I had a long career with American Airlines, particularly. I was 25 years in different entities within the American Airlines organization. But I had gotten an opportunity to serve on the American Airlines Federal Credit Union Board of Directors. And so at a point in my life, what you might call a midlife crisis, I was about 50, when a CEO of the credit union was retiring, I put my name in the hat and said, I'd like to be considered. And after 25 years in the for-profit world, dealing with union issues and price issues and regulator issues and economics, etc. Somehow I thought I had a preparation that might work in the credit union world. So I went as the CEO in 1991, and enjoyed 17 years as the president of the American Airlines Federal Credit Union. Great experience.
Excellent. And if I understand correctly, you were maybe not quite ready for retirement. Is that how I understand it?
Yes, I had about 1 year of semi-retirement. I had written a book just before retirement, did some speaking engagements over that next year. But late in 2009, I had a conversation with some regulators where they had said there was a credit union that had a need and would I be interested? And I was ready to get back in it. North Island Credit Union in San Diego might have been very close to conservatorship. And with that challenge, I went to San Diego. I lived there 3 years in an apartment. My wife would come out and see me every few weeks. I'd go back home once a month maybe, but it was a challenging 18 months, and the next 18 months were more fun. But being with North Island for 3 years was a great experience. And then I've done some other consulting and engagements with some other credit unions over the last 10 years. I think I'm getting more like fully retired now. If nothing else, COVID might have fully retired me.
Excellent. I know that you're a very popular speaker amongst the credit union circuit, if you will, probably more virtual these days than in person. And I think that one of the areas that I know that you tend to specialize in or speak about a lot of times is what really is different about the credit union culture and why what we do that's different makes us stand out. So if you'd like to talk about that a little bit, we'd love to hear you.
Sure, I'd love to. In 1996, a really renowned Harvard professor wrote an article, and he also had a book, but he talked about what made for successful corporate strategy. And the key point, at least in my words and recollection, was its differentiations. How do you differentiate yourself among all of the other alternative providers of similar and related services? And linking those differences together was a way that you became a sort of an impregnable competitor, or a very strong competitor. In the airline industry, which I knew, he used a Southwest Airlines as his main illustration, how many differences they had and how they made those differences link together for their success. Anyway, using the Michael Porter philosophy, I found a great fit in the credit union world, that we had distinctions and differences that were hard for others to match or deal with. We were a cooperative. Banks were not cooperatives. We were with a field of membership that knew who we were and cared about who we were. Banks are out there in the general community trying to compete without that advantage. They have a know your customer philosophy, but we knew our members really well in the credit union world. We had a not-for-profit model. We were guarding the members' money. This money belonged to them. This was their institution. So these many differences of the credit union world fit the Michael Porter strategy definition. And I found that a great topic to talk about and illustrate.
Excellent. So if you were to give one quality that you think sets credit unions apart, what's the one word you'd use?
Oh, this is my favorite.
This is your hot seat moment.
No, this is, I think it's love. All you need is love.
There might be a song there.
Going to work is usually somewhat a, not look forward to kind of thing for many people. You got to do it, but in the credit union world, you have the opportunity to love what you do, to love those you do it with, and to love those you do it for. This is a unique, special business, economic, financial institution environment. And I think love is an essential word and a real word, not always enjoyed or employed by everybody in the movement, but I think it's real.
Absolutely. I think, and we're recording this on the eve of Valentine's weekend. It's no better word for fitting to share with us for your moment in credit union history.
Yeah.
So thank
you. No, you asked for one word. I thought it's the right one. Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, John. We appreciate your time.
What else can we talk about? I want to keep going.
You got another story in there? What do you got?
Yes, I will. I'll share 2 or 3 others if I can.
Please do.
You clip them and use them as you see fit. But one of the things I did that I have done often as a speaking engagement with the credit union community is a story of my dad as a survivor of an airplane crash in Alaska. He was lost for 29 days, given up, soon to be dead. It was winter, January, February, remote part of Alaska. So anyway, we get a chance to tell his story. It's a story of survival, and survival stories are always very popular. But I take 4 takeaways for the credit union community that come out of Dad's story. One was basic skills matter. In the credit union world, it's the 4 C's of lending or other good basic skills, good solid economics, supply and demand, and pricing to cover the cost of your product, that kind of thing. Then there's a second point, and that is he survived in a situation where one person wouldn't have survived, but because he was with others, particularly one other companion for a last 10 days of survival efforts, 2 people survived where one would have died. Teamwork is essential to the success and survival of an activity. Thirdly, internal things really matter. The things like courage and perseverance, and in Dad's case, just the skills to survive. Those kind of things mattered. And lastly, when you do succeed at something, gratitude is the only really right thing. Dad was grateful for his companions. He was grateful for the pilot of the airplane. He was grateful for the company that owned the airplane. He was grateful for those people who participated in his rescue, for those who prayed for him while he was lost. Gratitude is something that I think everybody ought to apply every day of their lives. So anyway, that's a story that I've enjoyed. I wrote a book called Hearts of Courage. The book's out of print, so I'm not promoting the book, but the story has been a great one to share for credit union audiences. I've done that. Second, another subject I would go to is the North Island story, if I can, for a minute. North Island was close to conservatorship. The people were worried and concerned that this was the bottom. When I had a first all-staff meeting with the North Island people, I used a clip from the movie We Are Marshall. And I said, our circumstances are not near as tragic or as difficult as they were for that college and for that football program. But I said there were a lot of takeaway messages for us. So it was a good experience at North Island. Regulators thought somehow just shrinking the institution and getting down to a point that all costs, all possible costs were eliminated, there'd be enough capital left to support what little was left of the credit union. Well, I didn't think that was the right approach. I felt the most critical thing was rebuilding a revenue stream, protecting the good business lending skills and the good lending business lending portfolio that the credit union had. I thought some different things were higher priority even than shrinking, and we did a little bit of both. We rebuilt the revenue stream, and we continued to reduce costs and eliminate those things that were hurtful to the credit union. But anyway, while I was there, one of the things I got a chance to do was really emphasize the differentiation of the credit union. It was unique in San Diego, very Navy-oriented, very historically oriented to the Navy. So we produced a video program that we used in our branches and used a little bit on local TV and some other circumstances. It was a tribute to the 100-year anniversary of naval aviation. It was also a recognition of the 70-year anniversary of the credit union. So we emphasized our differences. We emphasized rebuilding the credit union, and it was a successful turnaround operation. So that was a good story that I'm happy to share my experiences with North Island. And, I really enjoyed my career with this industry. I'll add one other thought if I can, and I don't know if you were able to get this little video clip, but I have used, when I've talked about leadership generally, and I have had speeches that I've given to credit union organizations about leadership, I sort of formed that all into a pyramid. You have a copy of it there somewhere, but the pyramid was my imitation of Johnny Wooden's pyramid of success. But at the very top of that pyramid of what I would consider principles or things I learned about the credit union community is something about improving people's lives. We're in a situation where we can help people better their lives, particularly their financial welfare, providing them an opportunity to save for long term, for retirement, to borrow to have a car to get to and from work, to plan their finances for retirement. We have a chance to have a high impact on people's lives. And I thought that was a great thing. The video clip was a Clayton Christensen article, or part of a TED speech actually that he gave. But his point was, when we get to wherever heaven is and ever have that time of judgment, we're not going to be asked how many were the dollar assets of your credit union, or how much salary did you earn, or how much, did you impress the regulators. We're going to be asked, what has been our impact on the lives of others whose paths we crossed? And again, I think that's a great blessing of an opportunity for credit union leadership and credit union people at every level, from the front line and the back office to the executive suite, to use the members' money wisely, carefully, frugally, for the benefit of the member owners and to impact their lives for the good. Anyway, I share that last thought with you.
I think
Thank you very much.
That's exactly why we do what we do. It is an honor and a privilege for those of us that are in the movement to make those differences that count, and to make an impact.
They are, and you can't do it quite this way at most business organizations. I can tell you that.
For sure, for sure. Well, thank you for spending some time with us today, John. This has been another moment in credit union history, brought to you by CUNA Mutual.
Thank you, Stephanie.